All right, folks, just live a little early. Seems to be working. Hopefully this will be short. I opened that window. Oh, okay, it's fine. Um, anyway, don't know who's here. Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna change that to public. Nobody's going to be here. There we go. There we go. All right, it's a little early. Drinking my water. All right. I don't know. It's probably. I think my watch is behind. Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. All right. Let's get this done. As the title suggests, this is live stream from my house because for some reason this Chinese virus, we're going to rename it the Yarder Nut Worldwide Pandemic because this thing has hit my family and hit it hard. We all have it. Lots of other folks have it, and we're going to shut it down and kill it. So look forward to having antibodies. I was quarantined anyway because some people in my family had it. Now we all have it, so we're gonna survive. I haven't really felt sick until today. Slept till 11. Probably would have slept a lot longer than that, maybe till now, if I hadn't got a phone call from somebody that needed an answer to a question from me. And so that is what it is. But anyway, Gina, I feel pretty bad today. Do I feel worse than I've ever felt? No. I felt much worse than this on several other occasions with other flu bugs and other deals. Basically, I feel like I have a bad cold. That's it. Not being able to taste things is very annoying, but I'm pretty sure that's not unique to this particular virus. It's just really annoying. I don't know if y'all are too sick to get on here or what, but I'm not seeing y'all in the stream. Let me check this one over here. I don't really want to add an artificial view. See if I got a notification. You know, I'm going to restart the stream. I did not get a notification. All right, be right back. Let's see if I got a notification that time. I don't know. I don't know. All right, it's showing that it's live. Okay, we'll just do it. It's fine. All right. We are in we're in 1 Kings chapter 3. And we're going to pray for each other. Got a lot of folks on the prayer list tonight. I don't think I'm going to name all the names, but yeah, it's pretty large. If you missed what I said earlier, it's Gene and I feel pretty bad today. We're sick, but we're not. It's the sickest we've ever been. Um, we're tired. She's tired. I'm not as tired. I don't seem to have that really bad fatigue that everybody talks about. But anyway, it's interesting. It's 2020, and of course I have the coof, and yeah, okay, that worked. So it's fine. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna drink lots of water, eat lots of chicken soup, maybe eat some potato soup. I'm not gonna eat potato soup because you make it out of cream, don't you? Yeah. Oh yeah, we got lactate milk. We can do that. Yeah, I may do that. Anyway, it is what it is. But let's get through our Bible study. There's nobody at the church that I know of, and if anybody showed up at the church and they watched this later, I just apologize to you. The entire praise team, the entire crew has come down with this. Suspected anyway. Some of them confirmed. But wow, didn't expect everybody to get sick at the exact same time. But again, it is what it is. I'm not going to be too concerned about it, other than to pray for and concerned about. Of course, I'm concerned for my folks. I'm beside myself with concern for my folks. It's just what I'm not going to be concerned with is how we get church done while we're sick. We'll move through this. I'm sure I'll miss Sunday. Well, I know I'm missing this Sunday. I'm officially quarantined. I could be out of quarantine by next Sunday and be a coof killing machine. I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, we're going to look at 1 Kings chapter 3. This is where Solomon is gifted his great wisdom by God, and we're actually, Solomon shows that he already has some incredible wisdom. We'll be reading from the King James Version.
1 Kings 3.
There we go.
And Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter, and brought her into the city of David, until he had made an end of building his own house, and the house of the Lord, and the wall of Jerusalem round about. Only the people sacrificed in high places, because there was no house built unto the name of the Lord, until those days. And Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of David his father. Only he sacrificed and burnt incense in high places. And the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. 1,000 burnt offerings did Solomon offer upon that altar. In Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and God said, Ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, Thou hast shown unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness, that thou hast given him a son, to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Lord my God, thou hast made thy servant king, instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people, that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. And God said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding, to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. And if thou wilt walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as thy father David did walk, then I will lengthen thy days. And Solomon awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem, and stood before the ark of the covenant of the Lord, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants. Then came there two women that were harlots unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my lord, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass, the third day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also, and we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we two in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me while thine handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I rose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son which I did bear. And the other woman said, Nay, but the living is my son, and the dead is thy son. And this said, No, but the dead is thy son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, The one saith, This is my son that liveth, and thy son is the dead. And the other saith, Nay, but thy son is the dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in two, and give half to the one, and half to the other. Then spake the woman, whose the living child was, unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son. And she said, O my lord, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor thine, but divide it. Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof. And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged. And they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of God was in him to do judgment.
Wow. All right. Again, we're going to do this pretty quickly tonight because I don't feel good. No, I feel bad. It's not that I don't feel good; it's that I feel bad. I'm sick. But this is really good stuff, and we're going to pray. I'm going to pray for you. Going to pray for one another. I got a lot of folks who need to make it through this, and I'm completely confident we will. We're going to be okay. All right. So first of all, really we have two things happening here. Verses 1 through 15 are where God gifts Solomon with wisdom. And Solomon already has some wisdom. We've already seen how he has wisely um, dealt with some of the things going on in his life, how he became king and dealt with his brothers and that kind of thing. And then we have verse 16 where we have application of this gift that God has given to Solomon. And then this is a world famous historic story. This is something that is known by all cultures everywhere and is attributed to Solomon, and it's unique to him, where he gives up this incredible wise judgment and figures out how to bless. And it tells us about Solomon, and it tells us about mothers, and it tells us about a lot of things. So we're going to look at these two things a little bit separately. All right. So first of all, let's look at what is kind of the elephant in the room. Solomon has an interaction with God through a dream, and people often ask me. People often wonder: Does God still do this? This happens several times in the Old Testament, and it's something that I believe that God has spoken to me through dreams or a dream. So I'm just going to say, yeah, this is what is in the Bible. This is still applicable. Um, God may in fact speak to you through a dream. He may not. He may never do that. That's his business, how he speaks to people. mostly God speaks through his word. We have the book, we read the book, God impresses on us the things he wants us to know from the book, and that's how he speaks to us. But there are just a lot of things that the book doesn't quite cover, like, what should we do in this COVID-19 era? What should we do with this disease or this virus, or whatever you want to call it? But God is speaking to Solomon through this dream. So Solomon has this dream where he's asked a question, he gives an answer, and then God is impressed by his answer. Why is he impressed? Because most human beings, when we ask God for things, we ask things that are comfortable, that are pleasurable, that are easier. We just simply like the pats. We like to scratch our own back. And so Solomon does not do that. Solomon sees in his life what he feels is his most glaring, not glaring, but his biggest need. People are coming to him. He's going to have to judge. He's going to have to govern the people, and so he asks for the ability to do that. And so God gives him everything that he didn't ask for. He didn't ask for riches. God's going to make him rich. He doesn't ask for comfort. God's going to make him comfortable. He doesn't ask for power, long life. God's going to give him these things. So he gives him this wisdom that Solomon is absolutely famous for. And so, yes, God will speak to us. God is listening to us. He puts us in situations where we are vulnerable, and then watches us work. And so that's what he does with Solomon. And he gives Solomon, and it says Solomon awoke, and it was a dream. I'm not even going to joke about stuff tonight. I'm just going to leave that alone. I was going to tell you I dreamt that there was a presidential debate last night, but I'm not. It was horrible. But anyway, all right. So then he's given his first test. These prostitutes come to him, and they're having a dispute over whose child is whose. I can't imagine a more distressing kind of a thing. We've got one woman. We got two women, one child left. We've got a dead child, and there's a dispute over who the child belongs to, which is just a difficult thing. And we've all heard this story probably many times. I'm sure there's nobody out there who this is the first time they've heard it. But anyway, he very famously threatens to kill the child, cut it in half, and give one half to each woman, which is horrifying on its face. It's just horrifying. Solomon had no intentions of doing that. He was never going to do that. No matter what the two women said, he was not going to do that. But it illustrates how to find truth. Truth is something that is only valuable, often only valuable when it suits our agenda, our purposes. And you've got a grieving mother who has stolen a child. You've got a grieving mother who has lost a child to death and that she killed. And you have a grieving mother who has had her child kidnapped from her. And so Solomon just kind of cuts through this and says, I'm going to use these emotions to figure out whose child is whose. Pretty sure he knew as he listened to this, he knew what the truth was. But the truth of the matter is, a mother will always protect the life of her child. The other woman who had stolen the child does not have that. She has grief from her dead child, even though she's stolen a child, but she has that grief simmering inside her. So when Solomon offers to cut the child in half, she's okay with that, which is evil. Is evil. Then we have the woman who has compassion, true compassion, for her actual child, who is willing to sacrifice her motherhood for the life of the child. That's what mothers do. I don't know fathers. I think fathers probably have that kind of protective love in them. But anyway, she does that. She is willing to give up her life with her child in order to just keep the child alive. She has no desire for the child to be harmed. She wants her child back. Obviously, she wouldn't be here, but she doesn't want her child harmed, and that validates and proves whose child this is and whose child it's not. And so Solomon very wisely does this. Now, yeah, it's risky. That's when you have to make decisions, you have to take some risk. And so he does this, and then he grants the child to the mother, who is the actual mother. He finds the truth. All right. So in the beginning, we have Solomon asking God to give him the ability to figure out what the truth is. And then we have an example of how Solomon actually finds the truth. And I think in this day and age right now, we need to recommit ourselves to just truth. No matter how bad it hurts, no matter how uncomfortable it may be for us, how difficult it may be for us to operate within truth, truth is lost today. It seems that a lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people are just in, and I get it. I have a bias. I have a perspective. I've given myself to God's word and his church, and I'm always going to interpret everything by what is the truth of that. But I hope at the end of the day, I can figure out what is actually true. And so much of what we're seeing on social media, on mainstream media, in print, out of print, talking heads, Bible studies, whatever, news, is simply truth as we can make it fit our agenda. These two ladies had an agenda. One of them wanted to get her child back. The other one wanted to assuage her grief from having a lost child, from killing her child, from her child dying. We need to be able to see what is actually true, because the truth will set us free. And it doesn't matter how uncomfortable it might be for us. It might be very uncomfortable for us, but we need to give ourselves to what is actually factually, emotionally true. Not just what we hope to be true or want to be true, but what is. And base decisions and choices on truth. Because there is truth. Truth is an actual existing thing. It's not my truth, it is the truth. And if I don't give myself to truth, then I sacrifice everything. We hear this a lot these days. My truth, my facts, my feelings, whatever. There is an absolute truth. This Bible, this book, God's will, it is absolutely true. It doesn't matter what you say about it, whether you like it or not. It is true, and it behooves us to live according to it. All right, I am not seeing the chat right now. Let me take a look at the chat. All right, there we go. We got some stuff. All right, any questions from the chat? Give a church address for. Let's see that. All right. Anything y'all want to pray for? We got counted up. We got 15 cases confirmed, I think, of current active cases of the Coof, and we are probably, if you think you have it, you probably do. Go get a test. Or we have a cold and they're just calling it the coop. I don't know. But anyway, I have it. Gina has it. My kids have it. Everybody's got it. So it's all good. We are going to just deal with that, pray about that, and do what we're told. I'm not going to be crazy or stupid, and not social distance and not wear my mask. I've been doing those things. To be honest with you, I feel like a bit of a failure. It just this just hit us like a ton of bricks. We're just not sure how it happened, and you know we don't know how patient zero got it, and we know we were probably all infected by that patient or each other. Some of it's starting to not make a lot of sense, but it is what it is. Thankfully, I still believe the data supports that this is completely survivable. It's no more dangerous, or it's actually less dangerous than a lot of the other things that we've all already survived. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen Sunday. We may have to just finally we may have to finally close for a bit. I don't know. I'm not making that decision tonight. This is Wednesday. A lot can change between now and then. Um, but we're definitely going to stream. Now that all my kids have it, we can all party together. We have Coof parties, and we're going to have a Coof worship service where we sing in my living room, and we're going to stream that. Maybe to the church, maybe not. Haven't again. I'm not going to make that decision until probably Saturday sometime. My plan is to stream 9:30 Bible study, and then stream 11 o'clock worship service, and just do the best we can, because that's what God has asked us to do. But yeah, I'm not gonna make. Just pray for me as I make those decisions. Probably, almost certainly, we'll just take a break for a bit. I was a bit crass on Harbor Folks. If you haven't seen that, you don't need to. It's okay. But you know, again, if I stop joking around, then call the funeral home because I'm ready to go. But we're going to pray ourselves through this and help. Those of you who are not infected, do the best you can to keep from getting infected by the rest of us. But at the same time, if you want it, come hug me. I'll let you have it. I'll kiss you right on the forehead. But it's not fun. Gina's coughed her head off for a couple of weeks now, and I don't have near the cough. That whole idea of the dry cough that's not true. I have a very productive cough. I cough things up. So that was my misunderstanding that it needed to be a dry cough, and so I kind of didn't think I had it for a bit. And until I had fever, that I thought, oh, this might be something. Again, but I was careful. I hand sanitized. I wore my mask when I was out and about. Didn't wear much at church though. But it is what it is. We're not going to beat ourselves up over this. I am sorry, but we're going to pray through this and get through this together. It's odd. We seem to be climbing out of this. It seems to be getting better, and then it hadn't visited us very much. We had a couple of cases early on, but now we have a bunch. So and it wasn't because we protested or partied or hung out in small rooms together or didn't socially distance. We did all those things. There were some unofficial hugs and things. We quit handshaking. But anyway, we're going to be immune from this. I have to say this. God has given Harbor Baptist Church an immunity to this for a reason. We're going through this for a reason. There may be an opportunity for us to minister in ways that other people will not be able to minister. We can now operate inside this virus. We can with immunity, with our antibodies, do some good. And so I'm going to take that very seriously. And I know it's not by accident. So that's what we're praying about. That's what we're praying for, and we're going to do it. I'm looking at chat right now so I can see. Okay, I got Curtis. Yeah, Curtis in here. We got a lot of chat going on. Curtis Brown, hip problem. Barry, would you? Oh, that's your brother, Curtis. Okay, I know about that. Yeah, we'll pray for Curtis. Um, I don't know what Mike thought was funny, but anyway. Barry and Susan aren't feeling good. Ron's not feeling good. Uh, Robert's not feeling good. Um, the very people we didn't want to get this have seemed to have fallen to it. But like I said, it's going to be okay. We don't know what the Lord has planned, but I'm praying for good things. Anybody need to be prayed for other than Curtis? Thank you, Miss Allen. Other than Curtis, that doesn't have the coof. Miss Helen, we probably need Leonard to do running stuff. It was so fun hugging him when he had immunity. When he finally got immunity. But anyway, all right. Well, I don't see anything else in the chat.